They're out here. You just have to know what to look for. Hi everybody, it's Kate from Katie Did. I'm wearing my hat and we're out hiking in the green springtime. And I'm hoping in these hills we'll find some treasure. Come along. So many beautiful rocks. So we are in the state lands near the Yellowstone River in Forsyth, Montana. And the last time we were here, I sort of figured out that the gravel is in different layers. There's one really low layer, and then there's a layer that's covered with sandstone, and then there's a high layer of gravel. So I'm just exploring the countryside and kind of seeing what I can find, if I can kind of target where those layers are, and enjoying the hike. Well, clearly we're down very low right now. We're down in a gully, but there's a bunch of gravel just sticking right out of the soil here. So clearly this area there's a gravel seam at least laid down here. So let's see what we can find. One kind of cool thing about springtime is that there's mud, which is also one of the not cool things about it. But look at all these deer tracks. The creek is dry right now, but I bet this is a really pretty little waterfall when it's running. I find it kind of fascinating how very, very quickly the rivers dry out here, or the creeks. And I also spotted just a little bitty agate here, just shining in the sun. I have to say I feel a little bit more like a rock hound when I'm exploring this kind of area, rather than just kind of being lucky and picking them up on the beach. There's all kinds of ways that they can be hidden, and you have to cross lots of territory. I still love the river, but this is interesting. This is fun. And I think I found a jasper and an agate right next to it. Now it would be crazy if this is petrified wood, so we have like the Trinity. There we go. That is pretty. It's interesting how it gets this kind of bluish sheen to it. This is more purple, but... And then this is the agate. Again, quite pretty. Let's see, is this petrified wood? No. That would have been just too much to ask for. This is some kind of conglomerate, and it's cool, but it's not petrified wood. I seem to be doing an awful lot of hill climbing lately. It sure is pretty. This is a cool area. See how the rivulets have formed in the sandstone, and then the gravel on top of it just has fallen down from the hill. But I just love those. I love those little evidence of water. Okay, so we're up in the top layer of gravel, I think. I'm going to look for rocks along this ridge. This one has the rind that you look for. It is, it's an agate. Nice. So this rind here looks a little bit like elephant skin, and this particular one has heavy calcite on it as well. It's not a really magnificent agate, but it's the biggest that I found today, so I'm excited. This is really similar to hunting a beach, except that every single step is up. Ah, darn. I thought this was maybe one, but it's not. Ooh, this is a pretty one. They are not tumbled like the agates in the river, so you're really looking for different things. Here's that opalization that often occurs. It doesn't have the elephant skin on it, but it does have a very nice pattern of dendrites. I didn't record digging this out of the ground because it looks like just a plain old white stone. But if you look here, that's an agate that's been opalized all over. That's cool, and I love the bumps on it. That's what drew me to it, is that this was sticking out of the ground. Anyway, so they're out here. You just have to know what to look for. This is pretty. Actually has lines in it. I'm doing what my oldest son calls side hilling, which is digging your feet into the edge of the hill as you're walking along it, instead of going straight up and down. But I don't know if that's an actual word or if it's just something he made up because he does that. Anyway, I'm basically making my way across the hill looking for more agates and to see what else I can see, which is at this point a lot. I was just reflecting about how different it was to look for agates in the hillside when I saw this one glowing in the sun. Kava has an unfortunate interest in looking over the edges of cliffs, so I'm constantly having to shoo her away from them. I know she's got 4 legs and she could probably do it better than me, but it's still scary. Well, I think it's time to start heading back down, and then up again, and then down again. I think the road is just right over that hill. We'll probably see if we can rejoin it and use the road to get back. I am consistently happy that the deer have made paths for us to follow. It makes things much easier. The road that's just over the hill was actually over several hills, but technically it was over the hill, and we're headed back to it. The agates that I'm finding here all seem to be broken. Interesting. This is the first piece of petrified wood I found out here in 2 times of hunting. It's interesting that it's so abundant on the river and so difficult to find in the hills. Kava's headed for the car. She's a pretty darn smart dog. I just love differently shaped rocks. This one looks like a kidney. I see our car, and Kava keeps coming back to see if I'm coming. Yes, Kava, I'm just very slow, sorry. I am pretty sure Kava spotted a rattlesnake today. She was down in a draw and I was up on a hill, and I called her, and all of a sudden she did a warning bark. Like, she never barks out here, never. And I've heard her bark like that only once before, and it was when she saw a rattlesnake on the path. So I told her to leave it and come, and was fairly panicked in my voice, I expect, because she ran right away and left. She knows that it's dangerous, apparently. Kava got a rattlesnake booster a couple days ago, so if she gets bitten, it won't be a terrible catastrophe, but it still will be painful and probably expensive. So I would prefer that she knows that she needs to stay away from those suckers. There's a hawk or an eagle sailing over that hill. The breeze is cool, the sun is warm. The dog is ready to get back in the car. Life is good. This is Kate from Katie Did. Keep on doing.